Hi, my name is Shelley Richardson, and I'm showing my graphic novel assessment for the graphic novel class 830. I used WordPress to create my website, and this is the main landing page for this project. I gave an overview of the assignment. And there's a picture of our adult collection at Standley Lake Library. When you choose the Introduction tab, it gives a little bit more about the library that I chose to assess. Standley Lake Library, which is a branch of Jefferson County Public Libraries in Arvada, Colorado. This is a suburban location next to the city of Arvada open space parks and trails and Standley Lake. A bit about the demographics of our community. The city of Arvada has 118,560 people, and that was in 2020. The majority of the people living in Arvada are white and married. And we do have a growing Hispanic population, and this has been reflected in our collection and services. We've started to develop signage and a specific Spanish collection to try and offer more bilingual services at our library. In reviewing the graphic novel and manga collections at Standley Lake Library, it's important to note that they're in 4 different locations. We have a children's department, which has their own graphic novel collection. There's also a teen collection and a separate adult collection. Additionally, there are titles that are not separated into those browsing collections, but that are located within their Dewey Decimal subject areas within the general collection. This is a view of what the children's area looks like for their special graphic novel collection. This was, as of about 6 months ago, was previously housed within the nonfiction collection in children's, and they pulled it out into its own separate browsing area. And as you can see, that has greatly increased the circulation of this collection. There's almost nothing on the shelf as compared to what it usually looks like. So that's a big success to separate out the collection like that. This is a picture of the teen area, which mostly houses manga. I'd estimate the collection is about 80% manga series. They also chose to put this right next to the teen area, and there's the anime collection is right next to it as well. The adult collection is physically situated in an area that's not easily visible. It's kind of around the corner from our study rooms. I think because this area is not easy to see, it doesn't circulate as well. And as you can see, the shelves are jam-packed as compared to the children's and teens collection. I chose to interview our operations supervisor, Natalie. She is very knowledgeable about our graphic novel collection, as she used to do some graphic novel orderings. So she was a great resource for us. She also mentions some of the titles that we pulled out and are not in the browsing collection. They're in the regular area of Dewey. And here in question 7, she also mentions these are um, titles that are obviously separated out by the patron groups. But we have 10 different library locations, and we share all of our materials between those 10 locations. So if you check out an item in Golden and return it to Standley Lake, it then lives at Standley Lake. So it's really easy for us to get things sent from other branches and to share this massive collection between our 10 libraries. And I added a question to the list of questions just to see what she would be interested in ordering. So in actually reviewing the collection, in hopes to spend our fictional $3,000, as I said, we share our collections between all the 10 library locations, and we're also part of the prospector system. Additionally, our collections department will pretty much purchase anything that our patrons suggest that we buy. So there really isn't, patrons don't have a difficulty getting their hands on something that they're interested in reading, unless there's a holds list for that item, which happens a lot to our very popular materials. So when something's super popular, their only option is to get on the list and wait for it to come in. And those lists get to be quite extensive. This is a barrier to access our materials. So my suggestion was to assess which titles were the most popular and purchase additional copies for them, hence lessening the holds list and the wait time. And we also have what's called lucky days. So if we purchase some of these additional items and put them on Lucky Day, patrons would have instant access to them. Lucky Day items are things that don't have, they're super popular items that don't have holds list and just have one checkout. So what I did is used our in-house software called Collection HQ, and I created lists for each of the 3 patron groups of the top 25 circulating graphic novel manga titles. I then divided the $3,000 equally between the 3 patron groups and suggested the purchase of numerous copies of the popular titles. And here's the list to browse them. Obviously, the titles weren't all the same price, so there weren't an equal number to be divided between the 3 patron groups. So in conclusion, to demonstrate the importance of offering patrons equal access to information, services, and materials, I suggest that we purchase additional copies of the most popular items, adding some of them to the general collection and some of them to our Lucky Day collection, so that patrons will have increased access to the materials that they're most interested in.